Alright, so I tried to find a spot, or a couple spots in my normal world that I play in that I could show you some of the epic things going on, just the combination of mods, etc. But as I was kind of looking around, I realized that I'd already like done a lot of stuff there, and like stolen most of the really cool animals and that sort of thing. I mean, because honestly, like, all I want out of Minecraft or Ark or any game like that is basically a zoo and a farm and a zoo and a bigger zoo and maybe like another farm over there and then another zoo. So like there are some tech mods in this thing because the person I was also made this for likes the techie stuff. I'm just not really into it. The only thing I really want to do is low techishly run around and like I said, build zoos, build stables, build some farms, and like whack things with my sword, and that's pretty much it. I'm good. I want things to look pretty, and I want things to be interesting, and I just want to go look at them and maybe fight them and definitely collect them, and that's all I really care about. So the tech mods really don't interest me all that much, but they are here, and I don't necessarily know what they all do. I'm sure at one point or the other I tried bits and pieces of him and lost interest, but there'll be some things that I'll come across and I'll be like, I have no idea what this does. It looks awesome, but I don't know what it's for. Because, like I said, I really care about his atmosphere. Anyway, so I decided I was going to just basically have a brand new untouched world, so that this is what you would see as you come in, and at this point I looked at it around and I went, oh great, I spawned on a tiny gravel island in the middle of nowhere. But then I said, you know what, we're just going to guess flight that's a mod. You can also see in creative mode, but if I'm in creative mode you can't see all the mobs that are hostile, and I really would like to be able to show you those too. But like I said, I decided like, hey, let's just kind of start flying around and see what's out here. And like, these are little ships, those are a mod. I think it's probably Ancient Warfare. I'm definitely sure this one here is the Ancient Warfare mod. And like, pirates, they are shooting at me. They are enemies. They do not like me, and that's fine, because that's a pirate's function, is to not like you. I think those are slimes. Anyway, but like these awesome, amazing castles. They're things like this are dotting the map. And some are full of enemies and some are not, because what I decided was, because there are so many of these things dotting the map, it doesn't really make sense for every single one of them to be hostile. And the other thing is that they look amazing from the outside, but the insides are made to be a maze through which you fight. They are not really made for living in. So it didn't even make sense to keep these guys hostile for the sake of attacking them and taking over their place, because that's just a mechanic I like to do, like in Starbound, is I'll find, a ruin, like, the Hylaudal ruins, and I'll be like, this is a great place to live. Slaughter everything inside it and then move in villagers. But the insides of these things are, like I said, made to be a maze through which you fight, and even tearing them apart kind of like did not make good living spaces. So what I ended up doing was, if it made sense for the people inside to be friendly, I set them to friendly. Like the Empire, they're just normal peasants doing their thing, and so they are friendly to you. The Norska, they're also friendly to you. I mean, they have no reason not to be. There are other humanoid factions that are not friendly, because once you start looking inside their stuff, you realize they have dark secrets. So they're, set to not friendly because it made sense for them to be. And I'm not actually sure. Oh, we're in the moors, so it's foggy, and just little things like this make your game a lot more interesting. This is 112, by the way, 112.2, I think. And there's like 317, maybe 20 mods at last count. The hippogriffs are added by the Ice and Fire mod, which is a big old dragon mod. And I'm pretty sure I remember that I have removed dragons from the overland because they just, I hate them for the same reason I hate titanosaurs in Ark, and it's because they basically do nothing but wreck the scenery. They are terrible. They're still underground. The ice dragons are still in their caves underground because they just kind of like, they just live down there, and maybe they get mad at a mob that's, you know, wandering around in the dark caves downstairs, but they don't just totally destroy your nice, pretty-looking biomes for no darn good reason. Anyway, there's a lot of ambient sounds that you would be hearing if I were actually, like, walking around like normal. And that's Vibrant Journeys, I believe. It's part of the things that's adding a lot of this ground cover. But it also adds just some amazing sounds, like, you know, when you're walking and it's raining and you're walking on grass, it makes that slip, 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 slip noises. It's fantastic. Those are normal sheep. I'm looking for some of the other, you know, animal mods that I've got going, but like, I've got things that add deer. I should actually show you the deer. I don't think these guys are going to run away. So Better Animals Plus adds things like deer. This is the plants mod. It just adds an absolute metric ton of plants to your world. We're not seeing a lot of enemies right now because it's not dark. But like, there should be some Empire people in here. So there's an Empire peasant, you know? He's just living his best life. He doesn't have any reason to hate us, so he's not shooting at us. Because it just really didn't make sense, you know, for them to be, you know, hostile. There's a supposedly way you can make them unhostile by trading with their traders. Good luck finding them. I think I probably need to increase the spawns on those a lot if I actually want to be able to do that the way the mod would like you to do that, but I haven't. So, but yeah, so I mean, it's just a very pretty mod pack. Just everything looks very nice. It's very lived in. There's a lot of you know, all the outposts and things added by Ancient Warfare. Just makes the whole place look just like come alive, basically. And I'm not really seeing a whole lot of animals spawning out here, but like there's like different kinds of sheep thanks to Animania. There's different kinds of cows, different kinds of chickens, different kinds of horses. There's a lot of different kinds of horses between Animania and let's see, what else do I have on here? I have realistic horse breeding, realistic horse genetics. So the horses you find, you breed them, and like their stats will improve or decrease or whatever, and their colors will change, and you know, it's pretty interesting. I've got exotic birds, which doesn't add any horses, but it does add phoenixes, and you can get different kinds of phoenixes depending on where you hatch them, and I believe that's actually been removed from later versions, 1.15, maybe 1.14, definitely by 1.16. Is that what we're up to? I'm not even sure. I tried 1.16 and I hated it. And it's really frustrating because people are like, oh, we're not going to mod for 1.12 anymore because we want you to play 1.16. Well, bring the mods and maybe we'll talk, because like the mods that I was trying were terrible. They really didn't do a lot. They didn't do any of the things I wanted, and if they did, they... Ooh, get out of the... Oh, Piggy died. They crashed a lot. So yeah, I'm not into 1.16. It looked so boring and so bland and so barren that I just couldn't get into it. So, you know, I have like no sympathy for people who are like, go, you know, join our crew and do 1.16 with us. No, I'm not going to. If you'd like to hawk if you'd like to do some hawking, you can tame the Lammergeiers with, or Geyer? Lammergeier? I'm not sure. I've never actually heard anyone say it, and I haven't looked it up yet. Oh, with bones. So you give them bones, and they will follow you around, and they will hunt things, and it's totally awesome. So again, so if you can tame it, I want it. I want, like, a lot of it. So... Oh, those are not good. Those are going to try and kill me because it's dark, and now all the enemies are coming out. So I've got some sort of improved, things that will kill you mods going on. So there's like normal skeletons, and then there's, I don't remember what they're called anymore, but other kinds of skeletons. Legendary, I don't remember. And they have different effects, like I always have to try and remember what I'm actually hitting them with in my other game, because like my primary weapon had weakness or something, and the skeletons are just like healing from it. I don't know, but I'm like, oh yeah, stop healing the skeletons and use the axe instead. So but yeah, so I've got like, there's like a Blood Moon mod. I've got that installed. There's a bunch of loot mods just for the fun of it, because I like being rewarded for murdering things, as long as it's not animals. I don't want to be rewarded for murdering animals, but and so like this started out as a vanilla village, so like some of this will look familiar, but like I actually don't know what adds this market area. It could also be Ancient Warfare. I have no idea, because I added so many things at once and didn't stop to find out what they did specifically. So yeah, I have a lot of things that I really don't know. This Miller's place, I don't know what adds that. I have no idea. That is a waystone from the Waystones mod, so that you can find your way back to places and also teleport to them. Like if I had more than one thing to teleport to, I could go and through one of these, and they are typically found in villages. So I'll do this thing where I'll like wander the map looking for villages, and sometimes that will come back to bite me in the butt, because I wandered my map looking for villages just specifically for the teleports, complaining for probably 2 years straight that I couldn't find any jungle. Well, when I finally did decide to fill in the blank areas on my journey map, I realized I had basically like walked all around, carefully avoiding the jungles, because it didn't look like there were going to be a village there. So I was like, I don't care, I can't teleport there, so I'm not going to go in that direction. And sure enough, every time I would go a little further in that direction, whatever, wasteland or, non-villager friendly area that I was skirting would like have a big old pocket of jungle in the middle. And in fact, there's like one that's big enough for 2 enormous temples. But no, I had no jungles on my map. That was a lie. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta, go ahead and go in there anyway. So I think this is probably forestry added, because we've got beehives, and they add a lot of cool trees. It makes a lot of cool, wooden blocks and wooden doors. That's an archaeologist's, I'm not going to say huts, because that's a little different, but an archaeologist's house with his little minor dig in his backyard, because that's what an archaeologist would always love to do, is to go out in their backyard. This thing shot me, I think, and and find bones. That's what they do here. That's probably a plague doctor's hut, if I remember right, because I've got the rats mod added. That's a tortoise, because I've got the reptile mod added. I probably should get back up before something else shoots at me. So like I said, it started out as a vanilla village. There's probably a pet store around here somewhere, in fact. I think that's probably it right there. And then I got mods, like extra golems. Something is definitely trying to kill me, so I should probably get out of the way. I know I'm not going to fight it, because I didn't actually give myself any guns for this. Okay, fine, you rude. Fine, I'll leave. Anyway, so, yeah, these desert temples are added by whatever mod is giving me the fossils and the dinosaurs that I can get from the fossils, and I have completely spaced on the name. But yeah, so did I mention that all those fossils that the archaeologist is digging up out of the ground, and that we can too, we can get dinosaurs out of them. That you can tame and ride, because guess what? That's exactly what I want out of every game. Yeah, these guys are definitely hostile, because, as I said, once you go actually into their little desert temple, you'll realize that they definitely have some dark secrets. So we're avoiding them, because it made sense for them to be hostile. One of their outposts, I think. Something shoots at me. It's definitely not a trading hut. That's how I kind of judge things. Are they hostile? Then it's not a trading hut. Again, what used to be a vanilla desert town, but with some added extras because of all the mods. Again, hostile, but this is another thing that's added by Ancient Warfare. And the fact that they just have these huge temples and little huts, I mean, it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other, and it just really makes the place, like I said, feel lived in and feel alive, and it's wonderful. So, you know, I don't think I've ever seen it do that without me setting them off. But this is from Roguelike Dungeons, and once you go down into there, you'll find a fireworks room where you can set things off, and it'll come up through these, you know, holes in the ground. There's actually a dispenser way down there that will shoot off fireworks. But Roguelike Dungeons is honestly one of my favorite things, because I will constantly clean these things out and brick up all the holes in the walls and turn this into a base. Just I love doing that. But one of my things when we were still doing non-modded Minecraft was to find a stronghold underground, and or a mine shaft underground, and clean it out. And sometimes I'd just clean it out. Just literally just remove everything. Absolutely no reason, because I had no plans of ever building anything with all that wood, but I would just take it because it was there. And Morrowind taught me to take everything that isn't nailed down, so that's what I did. Again, this is Ancient Warfare, probably an Empire, whatever installation we'll call it. I don't know. They have names for all of them, but I don't know what they are. Depending on where you are on the map, I think it's Vibrant Journeys adds Aurora Borealis onto the sky, and it's so pretty. I mean, literally, this is about as pretty of a game as I can possibly make it. There are songbirds, there are pixies, there are hippogriffs, there are actually unicorns somewhere, and pegasi. I don't really like the models, but hey, it's a mount. I'll put it in. There are hippocampus, there are bears and different kinds of wolves and coyotes, and all kinds of birds, and these guys are not happy with me, and I forget why. I think they're barbarians. I don't know, I'm gonna get close enough to find out. But it's just this is why I mod Minecraft, and this is why I still play Minecraft. This is why I still play 1.12 Minecraft, because it's just, there's so much you can do, and so much available. And I keep lagging because, I mean, you know, it's loading in big old world chunks, but also I've just got so much going on here, so, you know, you just have to take some lag sometimes. And I haven't even gotten into, the really weird biomes yet, and I haven't, shown you all the different, universes or dimensions that I've got added. I'm pretty sure I've got Twilight Forest, I've got Lost Cities, I've got Caverns, I've got, I don't even know, I've got pretty much every dimension that could be added without it conflicting. And if it conflicted, I attempted to change the default dimension so that it wouldn't conflict anymore. there I think were some that I still just, there was just nothing you can do, but yeah, I did my best. So this is actually a pretty nice seed. If you're, I don't know if you can actually get it to work like, well, actually you can't, because without my specific selection of mod packs, it's not going to show up the same way. I entered Topaz, no caps, which by the way is apparently the name that my new orange cat came with. She was Topaz, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to change that or not. But until I take her to the vet, it doesn't really matter, and she's got all her shots, so we're all good. Anyway, so you might try Topaz. It might give you a decent seed, but you'd at least need Biomes of Plenty, which is what you're seeing for a lot of these. But even then, I'm not sure you'd be able to get the same results, because I, have occasionally tried to recreate a world and was like, hey, this is totally different. I have no idea what's going on here. So it may just been that it, spawned me in a slightly different spot, or, maybe there's just something I changed. I don't know. You could try Topaz, but I don't guarantee your results. Yeah, so this is a world in the version of the mod pack that I'm running for myself. Yeah, so that's, you were curious about what the mods looked like, and you're saying that you hadn't played Minecraft, so this is basically what my version of Minecraft looks like. So hope it wasn't too boring and too jerky, and hope you enjoyed. Bye.